Hello and welcome to the Dungeon Journal. It's me, MrReeeee, and of course, with my best friend, PandaTV. How are you, Panda?
I got hairy ears. I don't know where this started. It's because I'm 40 this year.
I was going to say age. That's when that started.
I don't know where. How do I have hair on my ears? Can someone in the comments tell me?
Yeah, I think it's part of. It's just time. Just happens with time.
I went to the barber's, as you can tell, the other day, and he said, "You want me to shave your ear?" And I went, "What do you mean, shave my ears?" And he went, "Yes, shave your ear." And I went, "Okay." And he went, Didn't like that feeling. World of Warcraft.
I feel like this is the wrong story. Like, I guess when you live with Panda, and I'm sure your content, he loves to tell stories. So you hear the stories all the time. But I thought you were going to tell the story about the one that was like, don't shave my head, and he shaved your head.
Oh, don't.
That's a funny story, dude.
Okay.
I feel like this is, okay, the Dungeon Journal has changed.
Okay.
This was a different part, but now we're just going to launch this into this one.
So if you don't know, I've got a horrible skull in the back of my head that I'm growing for charity. I run a non-for-profit called Project Panda. We build backpacks to help homeless people. We have a subathon once a month where 100% of the proceeds, whether it be donations or subs, goes towards that. We have a feature on Twitch now where I can even make it so my subs go towards it. I teamed up with a non-for-profit called Dinars. We take 0 cents of the dollar donated. So we make nothing, just in case someone in the comments is like, yeah, I bet you make it. No, just cost me lots of money. That's it, right? And every month, if there's donated $5,000 on the subathon day to Project Panda, not to me, then I am going to grow this, right? And the opportunity is that every month, if they donate $5,000 as total, I have to save it. Oh, I have to not shave it for the next month, right? I went to a barber the other day and I was like, hey, mate, don't shave this off, growing it for charity. He's like, okay. I was like, okay, cool. Just before I sit down again, don't shave this off, please. I'm shaving it, not shave it for charity. And then when I sat in the chair, I was like, hey, man, again, don't shave this. Leave this alone. And he goes, okay. And I sat and I thought he was going to stop there to then fade it in like the first guy did. And he went, okay. And I went, okay. And he goes, start. I went, okay. And he went, Mom. And I went, what are you doing, man? He literally, it was like a comic film. He went all the way to the back in one foul swoop. And I went, bro, what are you doing? And he goes, not shave. And I went, no. Not shave. So I had to start it again. So yeah, very upset.
Great story. It's actually one of the favorite stories. I think you getting misfortune just makes me happy. I think that's when
that's the reason I've been able to stream for 13 years.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. If I put a sub goal of where I suffer, chat will hit it. I can be like, hey, 15,000 subs, I will cure major diseases. Yeah. No. Shave your eyebrows for 1,000 subs. We're in, baby.
We're in, baby. It's a great story. Look. We want to talk today around the Dinars. I know people call them the Dinars, but I'm sure it's Dinars. Look, there's the incident around loot, and I think loot discussion is always a discussion. I'm actually super surprised. We do a lot of community runs. We do a lot of like all forms of raiding and player. Loot is such a big part of the game, and it controls a lot of people, which surprises me. Like, I get it. I'm in a key. Like, sometimes I'm sad I don't get the loot, but it can really be a lot for people. And I think this currency system where I can, like, some of the loot, like we've done one-armed bandit for like so many pools.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the weapon.
I haven't seen the weapon. And I get that idea that I want to be... Now, I want to be... So if I'm playing the game lots, I can earn a currency and I can get that weapon. That seems fair. And I think the narcissism is good. Is it too late that's come in this late? I think yes, because we were talking about, in other tier lists, how easy it is to level alt and play the game. Let's get that... I may as well, if I'm looking at my evoker, I'm nearly completed on C and I still haven't got my BIS weapon.
Well, I think the system was meant to be out already, if I'm not misunderstood, right? So I think if the system came out when it was meant to come out, I think it's fine, right? I think the problem is now that it's delayed, it's like most people either have their BAS or they're missing like one piece, right? So it's like, okay, we put the system in now. Oh, I'm missing 3 pieces of gear. Well, now you're just missing 1. And you're like, well, okay, I got that trinket. Right, and it's usually going to be one really obscure bonus loot drop that people don't have. So I think putting it in this late in the season,
Do you like that it's coming in? Like, do you think we should have this just generally?
I liked it. I liked it in Dragonflight. I didn't mind the system because it was like I'd be raiding, and if it's a very rare loot or whatever they call it, the very very rare loot. You know what I mean? Like if you just can't get it to drop, like right now I have a feral druid. I'm 670 something eye level or 670 eye level. And I don't have the, what's it called, best in slot. I think it's actually called the pole arm. I haven't seen it drop, even on heroic, haven't seen nothing. And I just can't get it. So I crafted a weapon, which I had to use 2 sparks for. Not ideal. I'd rather use that for other things. But I wanted to pump as feral really early. So I crafted a weapon because it didn't drop the first couple of weeks.
Yep.
Where if the system was out a lot earlier, I'd be able to save 2 things, which potentially I lose out on 2 675 pieces of gear. That's huge, right? So no problem with the system being in the game. If they're going to do it and do it when you said you're going to do it.
Do you think not doing it, in my eyes, works like the meta idea that people get in? We talk about you can watch the meta video. Of course, I won that battle, but
hey, this is how it's gonna be.
Can I just say that, like, that mentality of the community is that if I don't have that item, I can't play my class, and so these super rare trinkets being so rare and unachievable, and we don't have this in. Players come in and say the reason I'm not doing this damage or whatever is because I don't have that item. Like, when I look at percentages, like, and when we sim, I see raid, you've got to sim. Like, if you're in the top end, you feel me, right? It's like 0.2% increase. That's what we're farming for.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
look, if we're talking about the super, super high end, sure, right? But I think for most people these days, I think, honestly, I'm trying to think of an item that's that impactful these days, and I don't think it exists like it used to. I'm trying to think of look at
trinkets like House of Cards, the jewel ring from Gallywix. There are a lot of items there that are the best. Like that.
But I think if you went through logs, you could probably find many people that have killed those bosses without those.
Sure, but that's what I'm saying. But the mentality is for players that I need that to succeed.
I mean, you're never going to change that mentality. That's never going to change.
So if you're not going to change it, then why not go to personal loot?
Who said I don't want personal loot?
Do you want personal loot?
Let's go, baby. Bring it back. Bring back my Gamba rolls, dude. I want it all.
Man, I don't know why we left that, man.
Yeah. Well, China still got it.
It was because of the trading, right? That you would drop and then you couldn't trade or something. That was a big issue.
Yeah. Well,
so just fix that, right?
The way that it was framed is, well, they said that they can't because it was explained actually quite well, right? Where, not everyone is socially as adept as each other or whatever you want to say. And there was a big thing of like guilt there. So if something drops and it's a piece of loot that you actually wanted to keep, if it was you and I in the group, you'd just be like, no, I want it, right? But a lot of people are easily misleaded or like, oh, that's not good for you. Oh, okay, they don't check, right? That's not good for your class, so they just trade it. Or someone might be like a little bit standoverish to be like, hey, give me that piece of loot. I want it. You don't need it. And I think they're just getting rid of that from the way that it was worded.
I'm going to double down and argue that does that not happen now? Like, I feel like in Raid, when the need rolls come up and somebody's like, hold on, why did you roll need? You don't need that.
Yeah, I mean, in a pug setting, sure. But in a Raid setting, most people these days are doing loot council.
Yeah, and I think that has its own. I think loot council's a whole ship of
Yeah. I don't like loot council.
Correct. Am I going to write a note? Hey, and you have 30 seconds to write your case and argue why you want the piece of loot, and also not feel the shame if you're wrong.
I mean, look, don't get me started on loot council. I'm gonna be relaxed here. But
personally, man,
loot council, I have seen with my own eyes people give pieces of loot to raiders that play in their Mythic Plus group that I know they're taking for their Mythic Plus push, right? And it tilts me so much, and most people have been in that situation. Also, the issue with loot council, I used to raid in a guild very recently called Zeros to Heroes. Wonderful group. They're tied to a guild called Death Chest. Has been around, one of the oldest guilds in World of Warcraft, right? The problem with, even though it's just heroics, usually loot was given out, and they do it as fair as they can, but it's given out on percentage. So if someone doesn't, if you go out and do M plus all week and get the best gear that you can, even though it's not necessarily the right stats for you, you will not get a piece of loot in heroic because someone is still wearing a blue ring, and they're like, their sim for single target is like, this is a 57,000 upgrade for me in DPS. And you're like, well, I get it, but I put in more effort. Shouldn't I be rewarded for that, right? So it's such a hard ball game to play where personal loot, man, you get loot or you don't. That's it, baby.
And I think when we looked about the raid, even our raid the other night, we killed a boss and we got 3 cloth boots or something.
3 plate boots,
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That
and
has to be
I wasn't
fixed.
even on a carry that was plate. Yeah. Where I would have been fine with it, but I wasn't.
That has to be fixed, or there has to be some variant of that.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, or some bad luck protection, or something in that space to help us. I also want to pivot a bit onto loot and M plus loot. I know a lot of us talk, and maybe not, again, my hat comes from that CE. I play a lot with the sweaty players. Newbie Exco is one of them. His argument all the time with me is, how come, you have, so loot tables are with 8 dungeons. We get 4 old and 4 new, but some of those old dungeons have really random tier, loot tables.
Yeah.
Where, my class has haste mastery, but there's, no rings this season
that
have haste mastery.
Yeah.
Surely there's something we can do there to make some of the loot, accessible so that my stats at least have been played. Like there's
So I
no
think-
piece to give me stats. Like
I think people's argument to that would be crafting, though.
Yeah.
They're just going to say, so craft a ring, right? Should there be a ring for you to farm? Yes, right? But I thought you were going to go a different
your
direction.
argument is open your wallet, buy a WoW token, and craft a ring.
Hey,
Okay.
Sparks are free.
Huh?
Sparks are free.
Yeah, the crafting isn't.
Yeah, it's like 10K.
Okay.
They're
You know,
pretty
you know
cheap.
gold. You get the gold that that gold that I have earned, all gone.
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 Go on, do some more quests.
Yeah. I need gold, man.
Well, ideally, there's diners, right? So you don't need to
Yeah.
worry about that. You should be able to get it. So I think that
So there's Dinars and Plus. There's Dinars and Plus, right?
I think
for
so.
both.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
I
think it's a
think
good system. I think we need that, and we need personal loot back.
personal loot. You
Yeah.
think that's the end of the video? You think bring personal loot back? And
I
that's
think it is. I don't see an argument why you wouldn't bring it back.
I want reforging.
Reforging.
Yeah, reforging was sick.
You mean
Did you play?
You mean Titan?
No. Reforging was where you could, maybe you weren't playing then, youngin. You could recraft the stats on your gear into a stat that you wanted to. Reforging.
When?
Reforging. Reforging.
When?
I want to say Kata?
Yeah, I don't remember doing it.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was reforging and it was in Kata. Great system.
Yeah.
Diners, let us know. Do you think diners should be in the game? Do you think personal loot should come back? What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments and make sure you subscribe. I'm PandaTV. That's MrReeeee.
See you again soon.
Peace.